what if there was a setting that we could just go press 1 or 2 buttons and we're into 4K 60 or that amazing 1080p 120? Well, you can't do that. The Sony ZV-E1 has brand new menus, as I'm sure loads of you have been absolutely thrilled about.
I don't care.
But you still have to dig through quite the amount of settings depending on what you want to do. So the one thing that a lot of people will use the Sony ZV-E1 for is slow motion, whether that's 4K 60 or if you want to do that amazing 1080p 120. But it can be a pain in the butt to switch between them, and especially if you're just out and about shooting little bits of different things, you want to quickly go into maybe a 4K 60 so you can slow down that and post a little later on. And you're like, tap, tap, tap. So even for somebody who is quite familiar with the Sony camera menu system settings, that even a word?
It's not a word.
I gotta go press menu. I gotta go press main one if we're gonna use that one. Then I gotta go scroll down. I gotta find my XAVSC 4K. I gotta make sure it's in that mode. Then I wanna change the frame rate to 60p. And that takes, it doesn't take forever, but it just takes a bit of time. However, what if there was a setting that we could just go press 1 or 2 buttons and we're into 4K 60 or that amazing 1080p 120? Well, you can't do that. So set up the camera whatever way you want. So for me, it's going to be 4K 60, and then we want 4K 60 1/125th of a second on the shutter speed, and we want to dial in our aperture whatever you want. And the reason we're setting up the camera this way is because in a second you're going to see the full power of shortcuts on the Sony ZV-E1. So set it up whatever way you like. And then we gotta go press menu. So we're back into the menu and we scroll down until we get to shoot mode and we get to see camera set memory. So this is what we want. So if we tap camera set memory, we can see 1, 2, and 3 at the top, and M1, M2, M3, M4. Those ones, don't worry about the M because they will go on your memory card. So forget about those for now. So let's go with 1. Let's double check our settings so we can see we're in 4K 60, 1/125th of a second. So let's press 1 and it says registered. So now you're going, okay. Now, let's quickly jump back into our normal 4K 24. And if we press the FN button now, and we see down the bottom here, yours might look slightly different, but what we want is the shoot mode. All we want to do is go down to MR1, press that, and we're into 4K 60, just in a snap. And let's say you want a 1080 120p. Well, the setup is more or less the exact same. So again, back into menu, file format, XAVCHS, whatever, HD, our movie settings, recording frame rates at 120. Let's change our shutter speed to 1/250 because that's the old exposure rule. Essentially, that's our shutter speed rule. So your shutter speed is double your frame rate, so 120p, 1/250, close enough. So let's go back in here, camera set memory, and then let's put this on 2. Registered. Now, again, here's the magic, right? Let's go back to our main menu here. Let's go to camera set 1. We can push to the right, we can select 2, and we're instantly into HD 120, so we can get that buttery smooth slow motion at 120 frames per second. So you can put in all your settings into whatever you want. So let's say you've got a time-lapse setting you want, you could put that in there to number 3. Simple as. So all of these settings are incredibly powerful. And speaking of settings, if you want the full settings guide to the Sony ZV-E1, even if you're a beginner, if you're completely new, all of these are completely understandable. You gotta check this video out right here because it covers them all. And this is just one of the many shortcuts you can get in the Sony ZV-E1. I'll see you in the next video.